Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Bowling. I'm a first grade teacher for 12 years at Porter Elementary in the Johnson County School District. Today, I'm going to present to you an ARI grant entitled What Happened to the Overhead Projectors? And I know that's a unique title. But if you were growing up in the 80s and 90s, I know that you probably had one of these in your classroom. And when I was researching this piece of technology called the e-glass, or it's also referred to as the learning glass, I really thought, this is the way cooler, techier version of the overhead projector. So my main question was, what happened to the overhead projectors we had growing up? And this is what happened to them. They got really cool. So this is the learning glass. This is what I was awarded in my grant. It's a clear piece of glass, as you can see. You write on it with these really bright neon markers. It has a camera and something called a hover cam that comes with it. It's like a document camera. And it is sort of a little bit complicated to hook up, but once you do and learn how to use it, it's pretty easy. But the main concept is that your audience, whether it be teenagers or like high school, middle school, elementary, even college, they can see the presenter. The presenter's back is never to your student or your audience. And so this piece of technology allows what you're writing behind the glass to flip to where the audience can see. And so just a little bit more about it before I get into some of the videos and the data. It's a 35-inch piece of LED glass, a light board. It's a specialized piece of LED lighting. It creates a transparent whiteboard that illuminates writing with neon markers. It's called an IllumiClear technology. It can be set up with a camera, iPad, iPhone. I had to have the latest MacBook, the latest processing system with that. The teacher sits behind the e-glass facing her students and writes normally, and then the internal mirrors flip the images automatically. So Zoom is built in. You can also insert PowerPoints or use any image you wish to add to your presentation. I didn't get all fancy with it. You'll see in my video like that. I have first graders, so I kind of kept it simple, but there's a lot that you can do with it. So it's initially when I presented, I thought that it automatically flipped even using it in person. It does not. It has to be hooked up to your computer and into the hover cam, and I use it when I'm doing my NTI days, my non-traditional instruction days, which still has been so beneficial because we know as educators, eye contact and classroom management, how important they are to enhancing your learning, especially on those NTI days. I don't want to put my back to my students anytime, especially on those NTI days. I always feel like when my back's to my students, even if I've created a really awesome lesson, I feel like they still spent part of the lesson either looking at my back or they couldn't see all the materials that I was trying to display. And if you've got 20 to 25 first graders, that can be problematic. So there's a lot of perks with the learning glass. It's more than a tool. It's a completely new way to visually engage students. They can see both me and the material. It creates a productive lesson every time. It was actually created during the pandemic to embrace the new hybrid model of teaching. So research suggests that learners struggle to absorb new information when they are unable to see the instructor, and the e-glass really takes care of that. So this is me actually teaching live on a non-traditional instruction day, and my kids really really love the e-glass, and I really loved using it too. We actually posted the video to our social media site, and we got a lot of feedback on it, a lot of interest in it, because it's definitely a neat piece of technology. Emmett, do you see anything that our spelling words have in common this morning? You're right, Emmett. They all have a long vowel sound. They're actually part of something, Emmett, that we call a vowel team. They're a team. What long vowel sound do you hear, Emmett? Yes, we hear the E in almost every single one of them. Now, number 4 and number 9 are review from last week, but let's see if we can hear. Emmett said he hears the long E in all of our words. Well, now, Sawyer, can you tell me why number 7 and number 8, they have 2 vowels? They have, the number 3, 6, 7, and 8 are part of the long vowel team. But Sawyer, can you tell me why we do not hear this A sound? Yes, but do you remember our riddle we learned last week? I'll start it for you. When 2 vowels go. So what is the first vowel we're hearing, Sawyer? The E, and so you're right, the A is. So we really love the video. One of my coworkers put that together there for me. The only thing that I wish that I'd done different on the video, but I ended up doing is trying to get somewhere where there is a more solid background, but it does require lots of, I had my MacBook, and then I had my e-glass, and I had my hover cam, and then I had my Life Touch monitor on too. So it requires a lot, but it does look better and show up better if you have a solid background and not so busy behind you. So evaluation of effectiveness and some of my data. So this, what I really was looking at was student engagement and student behavior to be evaluated. So prior to receiving the e-glass, and I ended up changing this a little bit. What I did instead was on our first couple of NTI days, I used my digital checklist. Then I incorporated the e-glass on the next couple of NTI days and used the checklist then as well. Luckily, it worked out so well. Luckily, during those winter months when we had those non-traditional instruction days and I was using the e-glass, I was lucky enough to have a student teacher. So while I was teaching, what I would have her do during our Google Meets is I would have her fill out that checklist. So we did a couple NTI sessions prior to using the e-glass, and then a couple after. We were looking for anytime a student was off task or asked to refocus or look back at the teacher, or just, overall engagement. That's what the checklist checked for. And that really helped me out that she was able to fill that out. So she filled it out prior and she filled it out after we used it. So here is some of the data in a graph. The red is the NTI days where we did not use the e-glass. The blue is on the days that we incorporated it. So you can see on I looked at paying attention. Were students on task, and they actively participating, because first graders on computers, they can get off task easy and not be participating. So we did see improvement on the days that we did not use the e-glass. We had to ask some students to pay attention on 5 different occasions. When we incorporated the e-glass, it was only 3. The day days where we did not use the e-glass, we had to ask 7 students to get back on task, and after only 2. They were really kind of captivated by that e-glass and they wanted to be called on, they wanted to participate with it. And then on the days that we didn't use the e-glass, 6 students were observed as not actively participating, and then that went down to 4. Thank you so much. If you have any questions at all, you can reach me at Porter. It's 789-2545. Also, you can reach me at the email below. So thankful for the opportunity to present today and grateful for the award that was given. It's been awesome. Thank you so much.